Well, hey now, everybody. It's The Raw from 106.1 KISS FM and 103 GBF. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting, the one and only, the man they call Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
We've got a love that's bigger than the Beatles. Our love flies higher than the Eagles. That is a line from Joe Diffie.
Joe Diffie. Okay, we need to update the audience about what happened today and yesterday regarding Joe Diffie.
Well, what you didn't see yesterday was Joe Diffie was ruining my life. He was supposed to call the radio station. He's coming to town. It's a station event. And so Joe Diffie, who was a 90s country music icon, he had 2 Grammys, 5 #1 hits, blah, blah, blah. He was big in the 90s.
I'm not joking, never once heard that name that I know of.
Me either. And because I wasn't a country guy until I started working on a country station.
But I know like the Garth Brooks and the Dierks Bentleys and the Travis Tritts, and I've heard of them.
Sure. Joe Diffie, country fans know him, but I didn't at all. Like if you had to be in the know. And so this guy's big time in me yesterday. He's supposed to call at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central Time. And he just doesn't at all. And then we run into the mess with Kelly, and I leave it like 45 after, and at 50 after, he calls the news line, and his manager's like, "Can we get him on now? I'm sorry, I forgot to tell him." The manager forgot to tell him about the interview.
I forgot that he called you 5 minutes after you left, and the story is still funny, but that's a funny part that I forgot. 5 minutes after. I'm on my way to the parent-teacher conference, just cussing. Like I'm cussing Joe Diffie, I'm cussing his manager. I'm so frustrated, and they apologies are made, and they reschedule it for today, and it said 9 a.m. Eastern, which I was like, okay, I'm still doing my show at that time, but I can put time aside, I can record an interview with them to air it tomorrow, then it'll be fine. And then 9 o'clock Eastern comes, nothing. 9:05. I start giving you updates. Yeah, so every 5 minutes from 9 Jerry's time to 10, well, I guess leaving a little after 10, I was getting an update every 5 minutes. Still no call. Still no call. Get 15 minutes late. And I mean, it was unbelievable.
He racked up 115 minutes of late time before I finally get the call at 10:05 Eastern, 9 Central, and Joe Diffie's manager screwed up and told Joe Diffie 9 Central. He screwed up the time zone. He picked it.
He chose it and screwed it up.
And still screwed it up. So and the real kicker is Joe Diffie, who we bagged on, and he'll continue. He'll be a post-to-post joke forever now.
It's happy birthday, Joe Duffy at this point.
And Joe Diffie was a sweetheart. He was a sweetheart. He was funny. He had some really good stories about his tour bus catching on fire. He was a great interview. He just has a garbage manager. No wonder his career died in the 2000s. He's got the worst manager I've ever seen.
Well, happy birthday and a tip of the hat to Joe Diffie.
I checked. His birthday is actually December 28th.
If you're watching in State College, he's going to be somewhere April 20th. Where's he going to be?
Well, he's coming to the State Theater April 20th, but I assume we'll see him on the 22nd.
By the way, if you rack up 115 minutes of late time from a Blockbuster Video back in the day, you're paying for a second rental. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about. He didn't rewind. He was not kind.
You said he was cool, though. That's nice. By the way,
he was very cool.
Up until you said he was cool, that was such a radio story. It's just everybody who's been on the radio has a story like that, where it's just like, we're trying to help you sell tickets to your concert, and you're making it impossible for us.
Right. And I addressed it on the air, and I made a mistake, because you ever have something in your head that sounds better, and then you say it and you're like, that's not what I meant.
Yes.
I was like, I totally got stiffed by Joe Diffie. I got Joe stiffied. And I went, nope, no. That's not what I meant.
Are you going to fist me or not?
But you are right. That's like so radio. You just get big timed left and right. Like they don't care about your time at all.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, when we actually write the book, it will be, I'm not going to say it's going to be a bestseller, but it will be a good book.
Yeah. It'll be a great book. And because we'll admit, you and I will be the first to admit that it's not rocket science and it's not building a house. It's not hard manual labor, what we do, but it's time sensitive at the very least. And when people start screwing around with that, it just ruins it ruined my whole last hour.
Correct. I mean, you were probably sour about it for at least a day.
I was not fun to be around yesterday at all.
Yeah.
And then Kelly was like, "Oh, I just checked my message from you. You said to be here at 10:50. Whoops, I got here a little early." Yeah, you think? 20 minutes early. The Kelly Valeri Joe Diffie tag team taking on me and Rob, Fire and Ice at WrestleMania.
It was
I'll DDT them both.
I mean, when you and Kelly go at it, it is music to my ears. So like, I was so glad that she was the reason you had to leave the podcast yesterday. I brought it home as best I could. It's not the same as having you in here.
You did a great job. I mean, listen, the WWE has gone through this before with their roads to WrestleMania. Not every road to WrestleMania is smooth. People get injured, things happen. Joe Diffie and Kelly Valeri screw everything up. You know, it happens. You know, our road to WrestleMania with all the surgeries and issues we've had has been worse than the WWE's for sure. I thought the WWE's done a pretty good job this year.
I'm going to say I disagree with you. I think I would probably say it's been a lousy road to WrestleMania. I mean, we can maybe take it match by match and say if the build has been good or not, but in general, I don't think it's been a great build to the show. And I'm not all that excited. I mean, I'm excited because it's WrestleMania, but as far as
they haven't had a lot of, I guess what I meant was they haven't had a lot of pitfalls. You know, they haven't had any like surprise Brock Lesnar tore his ACL.
I disagree with that too. A lot of things had to be rearranged because of people like Jason Jordan getting injured, people like Dean Ambrose getting injured. And on the other end, while it's good that we have Daniel Bryan back, we weren't really able to properly build him because we didn't think we'd have him. So I do think we've had those things.
Okay.
So,
you know, I know I'm in the minority on this. It was discussed a little bit yesterday. And some of it's because it's WrestleMania, yes. But I look at the card and there's a good bit that I'm excited for. Like I'm looking at it. I think it's going to be a fun time.
Well,
do I think it's going to be fun for all 7 hours? No. Oh my God. The pre-show, the kickoff show. I may miss both battle royals. I may not. I can't start WrestleMania at 5 o'clock and get away with it.
See, I do. I'll give WrestleMania the time of day, but I'm not giving the other pay-per-views the time of day. If this card were on a normal pay-per-view, it would be a good card, but it's not WrestleMania good in my opinion.
Well, it has the star power. The main events are what they are. You know, I don't think either one of us is thrilled with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, but that was what they were going to give us. That was always going to be their biggie.
And I would actually say that match has a good build. It has I mean, it's really been building for a year.
It has a great build. And I think that Shinsuke and AJ Styles, while they took too long because they had to get AJ Styles through that stupid Fastlane pay-per-view, where they should have just been building that from Royal Rumble up. I think Shinsuke and AJ Styles has moved along nicely, and I like how they tied a bow on it last night.
Wow, I hard disagree with me there. I do not think that match has. I would call that build lousy and lazy, and they're really just banking on a match that they had in a different promotion many years ago. They haven't done anything to make me excited for that match other than who they are.
Well, the last 2 weeks they have, but I think they started too late. I think Fastlane really hindered that program because they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have had that 5-way for the champions. Just let AJ be the champ from Rumble to Mania and have him face Shinsuke and build it like this, but longer. And then eventually have it turn into like this really contentious blood feud. Right now, it's just like they're both annoying each other.
Well, I'll admit last week it was cool when AJ could have, when Shinsuke could have need AJ and didn't. That was a cool moment, but that's not what you build a feud on.
No, but then they gave the moment back this week, and I like that.
Well, yeah, AJ could have hurt Shinsuke and didn't, right? I was kind of dozing at the end.
Right. Yeah, and it was a mirror, and he did it the same way, tapped him on the head. I don't know. I liked it. I liked the whole. It was kind of unique. I know they've done it before, but for a long time, where they're protecting each other so they can get each other's best at Mania. I kind of like that.
Okay, I mean, when you make it sound grandiose like that, you make a good point. But those, in my opinion, are little clips in a video package and not the backbone of a real feud.
Okay. I mean, yeah, their package will look amazing. But the feud...
I'm not even saying that. I feel like that's it. I feel like that's all we've really had. You know what I mean? So I disagree with you there. And I also... I'm not positive on this, but I think I disagree with you and Benny on because Benny made the comment that he is very much more interested in the SmackDown matches than the Raw matches.
I'm not. I didn't say that. I did not agree with him on that.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to disagree with Benny, I think, on that one.
Yeah, no, I was trying to explain to him, if anything, why the Raw matches aren't bad. Like, you stop looking at Cena Taker as a match now. I don't think it's going to be a match. I think they're going to protect Taker from another loss. Cena's not going to need a loss. They're going to just have an altercation. It's going to be an encounter. It'll be a high-powered encounter. I'm convinced Kid Rock's going to play him out. I really think that's going to happen. It'll be a cool WrestleMania moment, a rare entrance. It's going to be fun. I think that'll be fun.
It's funny. I feel the way about Taker and Cena like you do about AJ and Nakamura. Because I actually, and I was having this conversation with Gavin off the air yesterday, he's real. He thinks it's been a real lousy build to Cena and Taker. And while I'm going to reiterate what I've been saying, while it hasn't been a great build, I'll give you that. It has been, in my opinion, I'll even say by far, the best build Taker's had to a WrestleMania match in at least 8 years.
Sure, but now you're just saying this turd is shinier than the other turds.
Much shinier.
But it's still a turd. Can we agree on that?
Less turdy than AJ and Nakamura. At least one of the guys is cutting a promo, a scathing promo on the other one. Like, I feel like at least there's stuff with Cena and Taker. I would rather be the build for Cena and Taker than AJ and Nakamura.
For SmackDown's matches, I think the best SmackDown match so far, Charlotte and Asuka.
That's got a solid build, and that has potential to be a very good match.
It's got a solid build. And, of course, I'm a mark for Kevin Owens. And I'll say right now, my favorite part of SmackDown last night was the KO Mania shirt. I love every year he's got a KO Mania shirt. And it was number 2 last year, and it was the WrestleMania 3 shirt this time.
And it always mirrors the poster of that WrestleMania.
So good.
And agreed.
I love that he does that, and I'm going to wait, and it'll go on sale at some point for like $5 on WWE.com in a month. So,
by the way, that match has a solid build too. I'll be honest, and I'm excited for that match.
And that match is kind of hard for me to call now that Daniel Bryan's a part of it.
But I mean, I feel like when you take those matches and then you compare it to things like Reigns and Lesnar, Taker, Cena, which I know is not confirmed yet, but we're all assuming something's going to happen there. I do care about Strowman taking on the Bar.
I love that. They made that tag match really fun and important.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm more invested on the red side personally. Miz.
Also, I think you and I can agree that they've made Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. They've made that really something I must see.
Right.
What did you think about my take on the way they're building that feud yesterday?
I thought, so talking about the bullying and stuff.
How much I'll use the term body shaming Nia.
They clearly got her okay to go that direction, and I think it's good. That's what wrestling's always done. Sure, some people are like, "Ooh, it's a little taboo," Yeah, that's what wrestling does. It's what they always done. They push the envelope. I love it.
I don't want to be mistaken for someone who's saying I don't like it. I'm just surprised they're doing it.
That's a good point. There are things that if they did it now, I'd be shocked. Kind of like in that mixed tag match, if you've noticed, and that's another match that has a good build. You know, even though Ronda Rousey's not, she's doing what she does.
No,
you know,
that's a good build too. Maybe the build is better than I'm giving it credit for.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Raw, definitely the Raw side. If you take out SmackDown, Raw's really bringing it to the table. But what would surprise me is if Triple H hit Ronda or put her through a table or gave her a pedigree like they used to do. Remember, Stone Cold would stun everybody. He stunned Linda McMahon. You never see a male wrestler or a male superstar hit a female superstar anymore, ever. And I don't think in that mixed match, you're going to see Kurt Angle touch Stephanie, and I don't think you're going to see Triple H touch Ronda. If anything, Ronda's put Triple H through 2 tables, and Stephanie slapped the hell out of Kurt Angle a couple times. It goes that way, but it doesn't go the other. So
yeah, well, I mean,
I see what you mean. Like body shaming in 2018 sounds rare.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the mixed match challenge seemed to have set a precedent for guys touch the guys, girls touch the girls, not, you know, the other way around. Also, another example of that, which is even more modern, I want to say this was maybe, man, I can't remember what Rumble it was, but I know I've been here in Evansville when it happened. Remember, were you watching, do you know Piggy James?
No.
They were doing a gimmick where Mickie James was being body shamed. And while she may have been like a little bit of a bigger build, she was not like a pig by any stretch of the imagination. This must have been, I would say this is maybe like 2009-ish. And yeah, everyone was making fun of Mickie for being a pig and being overweight and stuff like that. Or I'm not even sure that she was, but it's like, I guarantee you it plays really poorly in 2018.
It doesn't look good. It's not a great look, but it goes in line with Alexa Bliss. I mean, she did the thing with Mickie James, making fun of her for being old, and now she's making fun of Nia for being fat. It's just, you know, it's a show, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Well, SmackDown, I'm going to say it was a big loser last night. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but
absolutely.
SmackDown,
absolutely.
You had a real opportunity to, I mean, this was the last big show before Mania, at least for the main roster. And you like Raw was continuing everything. There were no major plot changes, but the show was still very good. SmackDown just really kind of gave you nothing. Like, you know, okay, so on Raw, you had, like I said, an example would be like, you know, nothing really changed with Ronda, Kurt, Stephanie, and Triple H, but stuff just kind of progressed.
They definitely they put it on 11. They turned it to 11 in time for Mania.
Nothing like that even could be close to being said for SmackDown last night.
Not at all. And SmackDown, one of their big matches is a real turd. I think the U.S. title match should be on the kickoff show. Nobody cares about those 4. They just don't. They care about Rusev. They do. But
okay.
The match.
Well, then here I have my understanding is I know what 3 matches will be on the pre-show.
Yeah, so, they announced it.
Okay, then my understanding is the men's battle royal, the women's battle royal, and the cruiserweight championship match.
Yes.
So you think which of those 3 would you put on the main show to replace it?
One of the battle royals.
You can't put the men on and leave the women on the pre-show.
Well, I don't care which one, but I think one of the battle royals should go.
I want to do away with the whole pre-show concept. I hate the whole thing. I'm going to watch it this year.
It's a 7-hour Mania. I think they could also put 4 matches in the kickoff shows. It's the kickoff show's 2 hours.
Yeah, on the main show. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, and what is doubly annoying about this is that
we're just gonna get Sam Roberts for 45 minutes.
Well, you get that matches. But you're also like back in the day, you were using that half hour before a pay-per-view to literally sell the pay-per-view. I would say 100%, at least 99% of the people watching the pre-show already have the network paid for. You have to watch it on the network.
Yeah, I mean, can you get it anywhere else? Like how? I don't know how it works.
1 hour of it's going to be on USA because it's WrestleMania. So I'll give you that. That makes sense. But otherwise, you're selling to people who have already paid for it. You know what I mean? Preaching to the choir.
Right, and giving us not great content.
Yeah, and so much of it is fluff, and like, you know, I don't know. I really hate the whole concept of the pre-shows now. If you give me a half-hour pre-show to get me psyched, I don't want any matches on it. Just give me the video packages. I'd watch all of them. But you make it an hour every time. This time it's 2 hours, but the normal pay-per-views are 1. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me.
We'll watch, though. They've got us by the balls because it's WrestleMania. It's gonna. I may miss some of the kickoff show. I just can't see myself if it's a nice sunny day.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I can't see myself. I mean, and you, it starts at 4. It starts at 4 o'clock for you.
Correct.
I'll be up till midnight. You know, because remember last year they ran it till midnight.
Yeah, last year they added they were saying it was going to be 4 hours, I think, and they made it 5. And so let me try it again. They said it was going to be 5 hours. They made it 7 because they had all the pre-show stuff or whatever. I don't remember what they added. It. I thought the show was going to end an hour before it did. And when you get me in that last hour, I'm pissed the whole time.
The whole time I was just like, oh my God, Taker hasn't come out yet, and it's 11:30. What's happening? I'm like Jim Diffie mad during that last hour. I love it. You can never get his name right. You call him Joe Duffy. It's Joe Diffie. Okay, my fault. You could Jim Diffie, Joe Duffy. I swear to you, I've never heard that name before you. Just never once. So Joe Diffie. So tomorrow's an exciting day for us. Boy, we've got excitement coming up all for the rest of the week, I feel like, because tomorrow is predictions, our biggest predictions episode of the year. Yeah. Thursday, and I've got some hot takes. I've got hot takes. I think there's going to be, I'm not only going to give you some outcomes, but I'm going to give you how it happens, what's happening, who's doing what. I've got it all worked out. I'm excited to see what you've got cooked up. I'm excited. So Thursday, we've got predictions. Friday is the Hall of Fame. Saturday Saturday's NXT Takeover. Sunday, that looks like a great card too. They're going to bring it. And I'm gonna watch that. Sunday's WrestleMania. Monday is Raw after WrestleMania. Tuesday is SmackDown after Mania. Like we've got after today. Our predictions are Thursday, and also I'm gonna watch that. There's like a little WrestleMania special on USA tomorrow. I love those little things. At this point, if you go to WrestleMania, it used to be like you'd go and then because you went to a WrestleMania, were they doing access and stuff when you went to WrestleMania? Okay, not only did we have access, I would argue Toronto may have had the best access. Okay, why? There was like a ring set up in the building that they were doing, and there was always like matches. I met there's lines for autographs. But I got more autographs than those jerks waiting in the lines, just being at the ring. My friends and I stayed at the ringside area. There were so many matches. I saw a pre-signed Brock Lesnar wrestle before he was even on the main roster. Wow. All the Tough Enough guys were doing stuff in there with the coaches. I got Bob Holly's t-shirt with all the Tough Enough guys autographs on it. We had such a great time. Plus, it was like all the fun stuff, people, we didn't do this kind of stuff, but you could call a match with Michael Cole. You could wait in line for hours for autographs. There was a lot going on at the Fan Fest in 2002. So in 2002, they had that. Were they doing the Hall of Fame ceremonies yet? No. Because now they've added that. So you've got the access, which is fun. So you probably go down a couple days before for access. Now you've got the Hall of Fame ticket to buy. You've got the NXT ticket, the WrestleMania ticket, the Raw, and the SmackDown. If you want to do it right, you got to be down there for like 7 days. Oh yeah, and there are. I know we don't focus a lot on. You're dropping a couple grand. Yeah, and then so there's also. If you independent shows, they book their whole year around WrestleMania weekends because Ring of Honor is going to have shows, Wale Mania. Everyone's going to have shows around that time. And then you also got, and plus, if we were down there, if we're doing one thing besides Mania, we're doing something to wrestle with Bruce and Conrad. we're finding them. You know, they're going to be down there doing it's going to be epic.
Yeah. So there's so much going on for wrestling fans. It's funny. Every Thursday we have a pet of the week come in with this nice woman, Lindsay, who comes in from the Warwick Humane Society. And she was saying, I'm not going to be able to be in next week. I'm going on vacation. We may send someone else in my place or something like that. And she's like, I'm going to New Orleans. And I was like, just so you know, the WrestleMania is that week. You're going to be seeing wrestling stuff all over the place.
You're going to be inundated with wrestling fans. It's going to be madness down there. Mardi Gras for wrestling.
And she could not care less about wrestling, but she's just going down because she's going to New Orleans. I was like, I mean, you're going to see it. There's going to be 80,000 wrestling fans in that city.
So I was really upset when, it was next year's WrestleMania was between Philly and New York. And New York got it. And I was going to beg you to come with me to Philly to my first WrestleMania. But they didn't get it.
I probably would not be able to get time off. Although I do have Monday off. We had a nice little, there was like a challenge behind the scenes at our radio station. We get to have a free day off.
I can't hear you.
What do you mean? Why can't you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You just went quiet in my headphones. I can't hear you at all. Did you hit a button?
Not at all. Can you hear me?
Hit a button.
I can't
hear you at all.
Take your... What would have happened?
I didn't touch anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We did it.
I hear you. Can someone... We've got a few
I
viewers.
didn't do anything. I didn't touch a thing. Nothing.
I didn't either. I don't know where's your phone feed coming from? Is it coming through your board?
Oh, I had you for a second and then you went away again.
I have no idea what would have happened.
Your phone line.
I don't know what to say.
I wonder if anyone else can hear you. Steve, can you hear Rob right now? Talk, Rob. Tell a story.
Yeah, I know what feed is going to. I can see my levels bouncing on the computer. Like I know it's good. So I feel like Steve can hear me. Steve, can you verify? Or we've actually got a good number of viewers right now. If anyone can verify,
I hope no one else can hear. They just see Rob talking.
Steve's saying he can hear us both.
Okay, he can hear you.
It's not me, bud. Take your.
Bring it home. I can't hear a goddamn thing. I can't. Son of a bee.
Hey, hold on, Jer. Look at me. Hang up. Call me back.
Hang up. Call you back. Okay.
Yeah. Let's try that. Let's see if that helps. Let's try to get Jerry on the line again here. What would have possibly happened? Thank you, Steve. I know Steve can hear us. All right, let's try. All right, are you there?
Hey, now there you are.
I don't think that the listeners never lost me. I don't know what I mean. You can say it was my end, but I don't know if it was.
Well, I don't know. It just wasn't hearing anything. Like all of a sudden, I just saw your mouth and I heard nothing. Then you came back and then you went away again. So what?
Can't explain that one. What?
This road to WrestleMania.
Happy birthday, Joe Duffy.
Happy birthday.
I swear
Happy birthday, Lance Storm. That was yesterday's birthday.
Jerry said he's going to start integrating the real wrestlers' birthdays into the podcast.
There's none today. Yesterday's was Lance Storm's. Tomorrow is Sika, DDP, and Charlotte's.
I'm going with happy birthday, Joe Diffie.
Happy birthday, Diffie. We're belated.
Just to put a bow, as they say on SmackDown, everything felt unnecessary to me. You had an unnecessary Charlotte versus Natalya match. It was so long. You had the unnecessary 8-man tag. It accomplished nothing. And by the way, I would even argue the unnecessary Charlotte versus Natalya match was a bad thing. It was actually negative because, first of all, it was awful. I don't know if you saw some of the misfired spots it was bad.
Absolutely. And if they ruin Charlotte Asuka with a Carmella appearance, I'm going to be annoyed.
Well, here's the other thing is it's really affected me in that when I see a cash in, I don't get excited anymore because they keep on wasting it. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is I always thought there would be a really solid chance Carmella would cash in on Sunday. let's say they still do that. Why do you keep reminding me she has it? Let me forget that she has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't. They just keep shoving it down your throat.
And even the announcers are saying the whole time, will she cash in on Sunday? Let me figure that out, you dumbass.
The year that Seth Rollins did it, and I think it was the best time ever. It was
so good.
That was so good. He had mentioned in a promo, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but then they let it go. And they didn't hammer it down your throats. He didn't interject himself into their feud in any way, shape, or form. He just waited like the architect does, and he cashed it in. And then he had what I would consider one of the best heavyweight championship title runs of all time.
That cash-in was so memorable. I can't think of a better cash-in. It was the main event of WrestleMania, and it saved the match that I was having a tough time with. Not so much that it was bad, but I didn't want Roman to win that match. And Seth was the right choice, man.
Fast forward 3 years, we're getting that match anyways.
I know.
And there's no briefcase to save it. Thanks, Baron Corbin.
Freaking Corbin. All right, man. Anything? You ready for predictions tomorrow?
I'm fired up. I would just do a prediction show now. I'm fired up.
I know. I'm so ready to do it, but we'll save it for tomorrow.
Are you locked in on everything? I'm not 100%, but I am close.
I think I am. I remember they went through the card on Monday, and I was just kind of speaking out loud to Brittany. I think I've got an answer for everything.
And the battle royals are a real throw a dart.
Oh yeah, those. I don't even know how to handle those.
Because it could be an NXT guy, because that's happened before when Baron Corbin won one.
That's the thing. There's a really good chance it's going to be somebody who's not even announced.
Yeah.
Should we throw those out, or should we think about it, or what should we do with those? Plus, the pre-show.
I say we each throw a name out there, but we don't spend a lot of time on it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play the music unless you got anything you want to add before we go home.
We're good. We're good. I can hear you. Bring her home.
Happy birthday, Joe Diffie.
Our love is bigger than the Beatles.
Tomorrow, don't miss the big WrestleMania predictions. Let us know today. I'm curious if me and Jerry are in the popular opinion, or is Benny in the popular opinion. Whose show is looking better at WrestleMania? SmackDown or Raw? I'm going Raw. So is Jerry. But Benny says SmackDown's building better. Let us know who you agree with here on the post.
We love you. We love you, Benny, but you're wrong, and you're stupid for being wrong.
No, he's not crazy wrong, though. I think he's just a little wrong.
I'm just kidding, but yeah, you're super wrong.
F you, Joe Diffie.